Good morning, everyone. So it's been a while since I've done this because it's been really hectic, really crazy. I had to do a 3 hours honors exam. I had two modules to finish on my honors, so it's been really, really crazy, really, really hectic, and then growing my business at the same time. But I did not forget about my lovely mommies and helping them on their journey in motherhood where I can. Okay, I'm not a professional. These are just tips and tricks I've learned along the way, and hopefully can help you in your journey as a mom, because we know that it's very difficult. Being a mother has been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. So I'm sure you can relate to that, and I'm sure you know where I'm coming from. So I just want to go over a little few tips to help you, be a happier mom, help you have a happier little baby, and make the journey a bit easier. Now, the thing is, your household, when you have a baby, starts to revolve around baby. So everything becomes about baby, so whether you're happy, whether baby's happy, that's going to have effect on your marriage. If you're married, it's going to have effect on your partner. It's going to have effect on you if you're a single mother, okay? Because it's very difficult being a mom. So these little tips are just going to help you and guide you on small things. Now, with small babies, babies can either be breastfed or formula fed. You might find that you have a baby that has issue with gas, okay? You might find that your baby cries a lot, especially in the beginning. They're hard to settle. They have a hard time sleeping. They have a hard time staying asleep. Now, this could be all sorts of reasons. Now, when baby is born, they have a very immature digestive system. So when they're learning to feed, when they're feeding on the bottle, when they're feeding on the boob, their digestive system is working for the first time. So it's only normal that they're going to have issues such as gas, such as acidity in the back of their throats, and this is all going to affect how they are as a baby, okay? Now, babies will cry when there's an issue, when, maybe they're cold, when their diaper needs changing, when they're tired, when they're hungry, they will cry, okay? These are the natural things that they do. Sorry about that. Someone's just trying to phone me. Um, anyway, um, anyway, so yeah. So burping is such an important thing to do with your baby from day one. Okay, burping is going to get rid of any of air bubbles. Okay, especially if baby's on bottle. A lot of people say that breastfed babies can't get gas from breastfeeding, but I found with both my girls that were both breastfed, they both had issues with gas. Okay, whether it was because the milk was too rich or the milk came too fast, they had issues with gas, and even up till past 7 months. Okay, I do believe that they both had silent reflux. I believe that they used to get acid in the back of their throat, and I believe this used to interrupt their sleep as well. So burping, like, I think us moms were like, okay, baby's fed, little burp, let's put them down to bed. You want to burp baby more than that. You want to really, really get those burps out, jiggle baby a bit on your arm, pat their bum as much as possible, walk around, keeping them upright. I know it's exhausting in the beginning, and it's all very new. But if I can give moms one point of advice to help baby to sleep, to help baby be happier, make sure you're burping them. Make sure you're keeping them upright on your shoulder, burping them constantly to get out as much gas as possible, okay? Baby will be fast asleep. When they're newborn, once they've had a feed, that's it, their lights out. They'll be fast asleep. But it's so important that you just keep doing that and try and move any gas you can, because gas, there's only one way out. And if the bubbles are still big, they're still going to be in the digestive system, and they're going to be painful when they're trying to get past, okay? I found that both my girls, they did not poo a lot. Whether it was because they were breastfed, or they had immature digestive problems, or they had problems with their stomach, they didn't poo very often, okay? Only when they started going on solids did they start pooing a bit more regularly. So, I found that gas was the biggest interrupter of sleep in our household. It was the biggest thing to get over, especially at night time. I found that I would feed baby would fall asleep. I'd be a bit too tired to burp her and stay up with her. I would just put her down, and within 45 minutes, half an hour, she was rolling around, crying, cringing, pulling her legs up, red face, because of those little gas bubbles in her tummy, or maybe because of the acidity behind her throat. So I do recommend bottle feeding, breastfeeding, burp baby as much as possible. Keep baby on your chest and burp her. And I recommend this till 6 months. When they're 6 months, you can start putting them on their tummy. And I found putting them on their tummy does really help. It helps them, it helps them digest their food better. It helps them sleep better. It's like even us when we lie on our tummy when we have a sore tummy. It does help, okay? Again, and always patting, always burping. Make sure your hand's cupped. So you're creating that sort of sound, a nice cupping sound, because that's going to just get those air bubbles up. I know you can use all sorts of conventional things, like gripe water, Telemint drops, all sorts of things, but I think try the natural first, okay? Because again, you've got to remember baby's digestive system is very immature. You want to try and avoid as much medication as possible in their first year of life, okay? Even for me, when my little ones get sick, I do not give them antibiotics. I think it's the worst thing you can do for a young child is give them antibiotics. I know doctors hand them out like sweets, but you shouldn't. In South Africa, they do. Not so much in maybe the UK because they know. Okay, they've formed sort of super bugs now because of all these antibiotics. So I would avoid all antibiotics, only go natural. The time where I've actually really worried about my child and thought, okay, it's time to get them to the doctor is when they don't eat, when they stop eating, okay? Or when they're sort of oversleeping, like oversleeping, and not eating, and high fevers, okay? But I think, when it's just a slight little cold, little bit of a runny nose, don't fret, okay? That's going to happen. It's going to happen to your baby. It happens to all of us. We all have these sort of, bugs that we have to familiarize ourselves with. And it's good to happen when it's young, because when they go to school, I remember with Hannah, we had months of in and out, in school, out of school, in school, out of school. And straight away, that creche cough started, okay? Terrible cough. She had it for months and months and months. The only thing that took that cough away was saline nasal spray and honey. Now remember, you can only give them honey after a year, but saline spray and honey was the only thing that got rid of her creche cough. And I look at her now, she is so healthy. They both are. And that again, I believe, is from breastfeeding. I do think, with bottle fed, there's nothing wrong with formula feeding. There's nothing wrong with feeding your baby the vital nutrients it needs. But I do think when you're on formula, you need to be giving them a multivitamin as well as that. So another couple things is when it's bedtime. Okay, so when it's time to get ready for routine, make sure their room is dark, make sure it's quiet, make sure you start winding them down. I used to do this for half an hour with Hannah before I put her down. With Eve, not so much because it's so chaotic, and they both go to sleep together. But, so I would take her after her nice bath. I would take her into the bedroom, make sure it's very dim lit. You can have a nice little tune in the background. I have this thing where you pull and it makes a nice little noise. Just letting them know, okay, it's time to start winding down. If you're trying to put baby down in a bright room, there's so much noise going on, there's dogs barking, kids are going wild, it's going to be very difficult for them to calm down. It's the same thing with us when we're on our phones constantly and then we try to sleep at night. It's hard for our brains to shut off because we're so stimulated. So babies really need to wind down. They need to block out all that stimulation for them to be able to fall asleep easily. I used white noise with both Hannah, both Eve. They were fantastic. With Hannah, I had a special machine, but with Eve, I just used an off the station radio. So I do encourage both of that and give them that half an hour to wind down. Read some books with them, hold them a little. So what I would do with Hannah was I would bath her, I would clean her up. Sometimes I'd even use the lavender oil, if she was having trouble sleeping. And then also making sure she's burped. burp, 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 all the time. Even when she used to wake up after naps, she used to have these massive burps. So you can never burp a baby enough. And then I would give her a nice little massage her little feet, that also massage her tummy. I used to do a lot of massaging of her tummy just to get rid of any gas bubbles, break them down. Tummy massage, baby massage, really, really good. Then I would make sure it's really dim, put the little bit of the tunes in the background. I would sing a bit, we would read a book, and then I would hold her a little bit, pat her and shush her, and then I would put her in her cot, awake, okay? But just that patting and shushing would just remind her it's calm, it's dark, it's time to go to sleep. So definitely make sure that last half an hour before you're putting baby down is really, really calm. It's really dim. It's really helping them to wind down and get ready for that sleep. Okay, and I found that even though when Hannah used to sleep so much better when I did it that way, even through the night she didn't wake because she was calm. She went to sleep calmly, so when she stirred a bit she was still in that sort of calm state. So it's very, very important. With naps it's a bit different. With naps I would only really do 5 minutes before nap time. Same thing, take them into a dim room, read a book with them, hold them a bit, give them a little bit of a rock, a shush and pat, and then put them down. Still awake. It's just that hug is to let them know that you're there, okay, that you're always going to be there. So that's really, really important. Anyway, ladies, I don't want to make it too long. I really hope you found value in this. Please let me know if there's anything else you want me to go over. Also, go and check out my Golden Mommy group on Facebook. If you know anyone that's having trouble with sleep, add them to the group. The